Hello, I'm Professor Best and welcome to my class. We are discussing strategic management. In strategic management, we have already understood what do we mean by grand strategies. One of the grand strategy is expansion strategy, and one of the important component of expansion strategy is expansion through internationalization. Internationalization. So in internationalization, the strategy is that organization they aim to go beyond their national market, and the need for this is when the organization realizes that it has already explored all domestic option and it has kind of a plateaued, and if it finds the foreign market very attractive, it adopts the strategy of expansion through internationalization. Now there are four main strategies in internationalization that a company has to choose from. These are international strategy, multi-domestic strategy, global strategy, and transnational strategy. I will explain to you all these four strategies one by one. But key difference between these four sub strategies is that international strategy and all other three strategy, in fact, they depend upon two factors. One factor which you can in the subsequent slides you will see, or in this slide also, which is on the y-axis, it is cost pressure. The organization needs to reduce cost or it does not need to reduce cost depending upon the market. Is the market price sensitive? X-axis you will find I have written local responsiveness. I have taken this chart from businessjargon.com. Local responsiveness. So there are two factors: cost pressure on the y-axis and local responsiveness on the x-axis. In case of international strategy, as you will find, the cost pressure is low and the need for local responsiveness is also low. So it will have a different strategy than, let us say, compared to transnational strategy where the local responsiveness factor is very high and the cost pressure is very high. I will explain to you each of the strategy one by one in the subsequent slides. Let me now explain here the expansion through international strategy. International strategy, as I said, is a part of internationalization strategy. Let's take the case of Rolex watch. A Rolex watch is one of the most expensive watch. If you see celebrities like Roger Federer were the ones who endorse this watch, or very big Hollywood stars or very big stars from India. Rolex watch is considered to be a premium watch which is worn by people who are the role models, who have several uh, hundreds of people following them. So Rolex watch does not need to cut cost. It's a very expensive watch. If it cuts its cost by 25%, it is not that its volume will jump by in equal proportion or in geometric proportion. In fact, Rolex watch is not, it is price agnostic, it is cost agnostic. The one who wears a Rolex watch is, it does not mind if the watch is 10% more expensive than what it was the last year. There is no cost pressure. People wear Rolex watch because there is a certain prestige, there is a certain style which is attached to a Rolex watch. People are fond of Rolex watch, but not everyone can afford it. So the company has no pressure of either cost, and it does not have any pressure of adapting to the local cultural condition. A Rolex watch in India will be the same, of the same category, will be the same one that will be sold in United States of America, or in Finland, or in Greece, or in Saudi Arabia, or in Dubai. Rolex watch. So there is no need to adapt to the local cultural condition, or there is no cost pressure. Same is true for Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson is an iconic bike from United States of America. Anybody who wants to have a Harley Davidson bike is not particularly price sensitive. He is not bothered about whether in India it costs 1 lakh rupee less or 1 lakh rupee more. Anybody who wants to buy Harley Davidson bike will not be contented with any Indian bike or any other bike, perhaps another premium brand, but Harley Davidson, there are Harley Davidson clubs in India where people go and they go on a bike ride together to various places. So companies like Rolex and Harley Davidson, they are said to be pursuing international strategy where they are neither concerned about cost nor they have to adapt to any local cultural conditions. Let me now turn my attention to expansion through multi-domestic strategy or multi-domestic strategy. A firm using this kind of a strategy does not focus on cost or efficiency, not so much on cost or efficiency, but it emphasizes on local requirement within each market. Let's take the case of a ketchup company, Heinz. Heinz ketchup, the taste of Heinz ketchup, the blends which are available will be different in, let us say, Portugal or in Pakistan and India, and they will be different in, let us say, Japan or in United States of America. Although there is not so much focus on cost, like Heinz also has a manufacturing facility in India, and the cost it incurs may be the same cost which other ketchup companies are incurring, so they don't have to really focus so much on cost and efficiency, because they have a plant in India, they are operating in Indian conditions, and sometimes their ketchup brands are priced higher than the market leader, or sometimes they are at par with market leader. There is, what I mean to say, the emphasis is not so much on cost or price, but the focus is too much on the flavors which are available, because every country, even in India, different people have from different regions, they have different tastes. So this is multi-domestic strategy where the emphasis is on adapting to the local requirement, not so much on cost. You can also say that Netflix, let's take the case of Netflix, it offers services all over the world, but it customizes its program to meet the local needs of the viewers. So it will have more program, it will have lot of movies, or sitcoms in Hindi, when it is for Hindi, for India Netflix buyers or subscribers, and they will have a different package in, let us say, a Gulf country or in US or in Australia. So Netflix again, it does not have to focus too much on cost or efficiency. It is the same everywhere. It will even in America, it will, if it will make a certain program, it will have a budget. Even in India, and equal, not equal, equivalent budget will be there, same efficiency, same equivalent cost, but the emphasis is on adapting to the uh, local requirement of the market. So this is called multi-domestic strategy. Let me come to the last strategy, but I'll go to the next slide. Let's take the case of expansion through global strategy. In this global strategy method of internationalization, the cost pressure is high on a company. Let us take the case of Lenovo laptop, or let us say Acer laptop. There is hardly any need for customization to adapt to local standards. Okay, but there is a need to cut the cost, because for example, a market in India is very different in terms of purchasing power as compared to the market in United States of America, or to the market in New Zealand, and the market will be even more price sensitive in case of a big West African country like Nigeria. So companies which follow global strategy, they often have to play, or they often have to emphasize on lowering the cost and achieving better efficiency, so that the product can be made available in large numbers. Otherwise the product will remain a niche product. So Lenovo does not have a strategy of serving only the premium customer. It has a strategy of being a laptop which is favored by the masses, by all, by students, by teachers, by working professionals. So it has to cut the cost. So in global strategy, this method is adopted when the pressure of reducing cost, the cost pressure is high, and there is hardly any need for customization to adapt to the local requirement. It is especially useful in case of those products which are not visible to the end using customer. For example, a silicon chip maker like Intel, the customer using a laptop is not bothered so much about it, but if Intel has to succeed uh, in a market which is cost sensitive, then it has to come out with a solution which is more efficient, which is more cost effective. Let's take the case of lubricants, industrial lubricants which find use in the various factories. There is hardly any need for customization, because the the composition of the lubricant will depend upon the specific requirement of the machine. You have to emphasize on making it available at a value, or at a price which is cheaper than your competitor, or at least at par with your competitor, and then you can explain the various advantages that lubricant will provide in terms of usage, better usage or maintenance of your machine. So this is global strategy, where the emphasis is mostly on cost and efficiencies. The last strategy under internationalization strategy is what is called transnational strategy. Uh, Transnational strategy actually seeks a middle ground between a multi-domestic strategy, which is high on local preferences, and which may be low on cost, and global strategy. So, a transnational strategy seeks to be a middle ground between a multi domestic strategy and a global strategy. Such a company, it tries to balance the desire for cost and efficiency, and it also has to look at the need to adjust to local preference within various countries where it operates. Let's take the case of Kentucky Fried Chicken or McDonald's. For example, it makes sense for McDonald's to use this approach, uh, to have different kind of cuisines. In McDonald's, in Western countries, drinks, beer, and wine are offered along with the within the McDonald's outlet. Because for example, in France, the wine is an essential part of French diet, but you can't do the same in Saudi Arabia. So environment in a McDonald's restaurant in France will be different from the environment in a Saudi Arabia restaurant. Also, for example, they will have different dishes. For example, in India, McDonald's have has does not will not serve pork or beef, isn't it? It will serve, the main ingredient will be a juicy chicken, or it could be a potato, a mashed potato, So uh, also the price, although the price factor in McDonald's is also very prominent, so it will try to cut cost and try to gain efficiency and ensure that the McDonald meal is provided to a customer in an affordable manner. So this is an expansion through transnational strategy, where the company tries to achieve a middle ground uh, between the cost, the desire to lower the cost, and the need to adjust to the local preference. So I have explained to you all the four strategies of internationalization. Thank you for going through my video.